going to talk about electricity, and we're going to do squishy circuits, which is one of my favorite things to do. So what is a circuit? A circuit is a path that has an electrical current that flows through it. So you have to have an energy source, you have to have a path for that electrical circuit, and then you have to have something that you want to turn on, like a light or a fan or even the microwave. So when you're using a battery, you have a positive and a negative end. When you're using that in an electrical circuit or in a circuit, you have the negative side is going to push out of the battery, go to whatever source it is, so like a light bulb, turn it on, and then go back to the positive side. That is considered a complete circuit. That's what we want, is a complete circuit. So I have an energy stick, and both ends are wrapped with a piece of metal. So if I put my hand over it on one side, it doesn't do anything. My body is going to act as the energy source, and this is what I want to light up. So my energy is broken. It's not completing. But as soon as I go and complete the circuit and hold the other metal part, it's going to light up and it's going to make all these awesome noises. But as soon as I take my hand off, it's a closed circuit. It's going to stop. So much like a switch, my hand is acting like a switch. The light switch is a open and a closed circuit. When you want to turn the light on, the door for the circuit closes. The light turns on. When you turn the light switch off, it closes or breaks the circuit and makes it a closed circuit. That's how a switch works. So we're going to use squishy circuits to demonstrate some more of a open and closed circuit, and that gets the kids really involved. So inside your squishy circuits box, you have a pouch that has a lot of really fun stuff. You have tools. You have a bag full of LED lights in many colors. So red, orange, yellow, purple, blue, green, clear, and white. You have a buzzer. You have another sound. You have a on-off switch. You have a fan. All put together. And all of these have red and black wires. The red is the positive and the black is the negative. So each of those have those wires. You also have a battery box that has those two wires coming out also. It has a minimum and maximum for the amount of energy that is coming out of the battery. And then you have the on-off switch. You also have the Play-Doh. So squishy circuits uses two different types of dough. They use two different types of dough. They use a conducive dough, which is what's going to conduct the electricity, what's going to conduct the energy. So you have all these different colors of conducive dough. And then there's one other type of dough in here, which is the insulating dough. This is the dough that will not let any electrical current go through it. So we may need this. So what we are going to do is you're going to pick out a color. And I'll go ahead and pick out orange. And then you can pick out some LEDs. So we'll do, there's a lot of Clemson Tiger fans. And then I need my battery pack. And then I'm going to leave the fan out. So you're going to take your dough out. And you can show students that it needs it needs a pathway for it to be able to turn on the light. So if you put just one ball down, and plug an LED into it, important to know about the LEDs, there is a longer wire, a longer leg than the other one, The longer leg will always go to the positive or the red wire. So that's important to know. So if I just put that in, put my leads in, and turned on, my light doesn't turn on. What I need to do is separate the dough into 2 balls. It has 1 ball and the LED lead in it and it doesn't work, the LED light in it and it doesn't work. The electricity is taking the path of least resistance. So it is bypassing this LED light, it's just going through the dough and it's going right back to it. So it's bypassing this. So if we separate the dough into 2 balls, put the red lead in one, put the negative or the black lead in the other, and then put one of each of those leads, but leave a space in between, and I turn on the light, it turns on. But as soon as I go and I push it together, the light's going to stop, because that's when the electrical current is bypassing the LED light to turn it on. If I separate it again, the light turns on. So you can also use this insulating dough as hard as a rock. Thank you. Alright, so now we have the insulating dough. So if I put the insulating dough right in the middle, put the LED right in the middle of it, turn it on, still doesn't work. It needs, the LED light needs to go into the conducive dough, because that's the dough that's going to conduct the electricity. This is the insulating dough, which is not going to conduct electricity. So it needs to bypass that dough. And it turns on. So it just kind of separates it. It is a short circuit if you have your conducive dough touching your other conducive dough, or if it's just your insulating dough touching the LED. That is a short circuit. You have to fix the circuit so that the electrical current can flow from the battery box to the conducive dough to the LED light, back out the other leg of the LED light, into the conducive dough, and back to the battery pack. That's what makes a simple circuit. So I have the fan. So we're going to use a fan and do the red to the red, turn that off, and the black to the black. Put the black lead to the black dough, the black lead, and turn it on. And the fan starts. So this is something that students can play around with. You can set up different animals. You can make animals out of the you can make animals out of the squishy circuits. It has a whole bunch of different ways that you can do it. It has directions on how to do it. You can challenge the students to make their own simple circuit. You can add circuits on. All right, so for this one, we're going to do a complex circuit. So we're going to have an LED light, we're going to have a sound, and then we're going to have a switch that we can turn the sound on and off, and the LED. So I'm going to put my LED back in. Put my sound in. Black lead always going to the black side, red lead is always going to the right side, or to the red side. And then I'm going to turn it on. So the sound is on, the LED is on, and my switch is on with the battery pack. But I don't have to turn the battery pack on, I can just turn the switch, which is going to make it a short circuit or a closed circuit, and turn everything off. Then I can turn it back on. using squishy circuits. Your students will have a blast learning about electricity through squishy circuits, and can't wait to hear what kind of squishy circuits you do in your classroom.